Hi guys, my name is Moran. Welcome to my channel. I've got a few fun stories for you today from Reddit, and the topic of today's video is influencers. I thought that this topic would be fun to research on Reddit, and I was right because I found a couple of wild stories about people who do not seem to know where the boundary is. So without further ado, let's dive in. Am I the asshole for telling my roommate her aspirations of being an influencer are fucking pathetic? Roommate works a minimum of 50 hours a week and can barely support him and his girlfriend. She wants to be an influencer and isn't bringing home any income. After witnessing the boyfriend have a mental breakdown from being overworked, I told the girlfriend that her aspirations were fucking pathetic. I've lived with a couple for a little over a year and a half. I'm in my early 20s, they're in their early 30s. The boyfriend works 2 minimum wage jobs, at least 50 hours a week, in order to provide for the two of them, as the girlfriend is striving to be an influencer and doesn't have a job. She spends most of her time taking pictures to post on Instagram and DMing brands trying to get sponsorships. So far, no income has come from this. Last week, the boyfriend had a complete breakdown while the girlfriend wasn't home and tells me he's exhausted from being extremely overworked. He's straight up sobbing, saying that even though he's working back-to-back shifts, he still isn't making enough money to support the both of them, and, which I didn't know about till now, her frivolous spending. He even had to ask his parents to help with this month's rent. I felt really bad for the guy. Skip forward to last night, and I'm sitting chatting with a girlfriend, and the topic of money came up. She started to complain that they weren't making enough money for her to do the things she wanted. I politely asked her if getting a job and doing the Instagram thing on the side was an option, and she immediately got defensive. She told me that of course this isn't an option and that she shouldn't have to put her dreams on hold. Confused, I asked her what those dreams are. She said to inspire people, and then I said, which I probably shouldn't have, to do nothing. She got really offended and said that there's so much that goes into it that I could never understand. I mean, the girl takes pictures of lattes and her in yoga poses. She doesn't even edit them, just uses the default filters on the app. I didn't want to argue about the logistics of influencing, so I instead brought up my concern for her boyfriend and told her that I think he may be overworking himself. He's not happy and he needs her help to support them financially. She says, well, I don't understand why we both have to be unhappy. At least one of us is pursuing our aspirations. What about his aspirations? I'm sorry, girl. To that I said, well, if your aspirations are to do nothing while your partner bursts their ass to support you, then your aspirations are fucking pathetic. Later that evening, I get a text from the boyfriend saying what I said crossed a line, and now because of me, she thinks that he believes she does nothing and her dreams are pathetic. I feel bad, but holy crap, I couldn't just sit by and bite my tongue. Am I the asshole? I wouldn't call the author an asshole in general, because I feel like it was a very ripe moment to snap because he saw his friend struggling and he couldn't take it anymore, and I kind of get how he got there. I don't really appreciate trying to meddle in other people's relationship because that's essentially what they did. They kind of like tried to put this girl on a rightful path without being asked to do so. So, in a way, it's not a good thing to do, but it doesn't make him an asshole. I would probably have the same opinion because I think this whole culture of influencing is super toxic, and the girl is obviously a little bit detached from the reality, because here's the thing, I can relate a lot because I've also always wanted to pursue my dreams and they lie in the creative field, so it's YouTube and writing. If there is a will, there is a way. So even though I've had a job, for most of the time I did YouTube, I also found the spare hours to film videos, to edit them, etc., as most of the people do. And YouTube, as far as I know and as far as my experience goes, takes much more time than doing the Instagram thing, especially in a way that is described here, because what she's trying to do, I think, is the lifestyle blog. So you don't really need to do anything like preparation, research, whatever. You just go about your day, take pictures, make sure they look pretty, and then post them. So she definitely can have a full-time job and do the influencing, because for most people, influencing becomes their job after they get some success in that field. For her to be like, at least one of us is happy, is incredibly selfish and telling, because she is fine seeing her boyfriend breaking his back to support them, and she's also ungrateful to the point where she's like, well, he doesn't earn enough for me to do the things I want. Well, maybe go get a job. You can complain forever, but with that attitude you will never be in a happy relationship. With that attitude you will probably not be an influencer, because it seems like her main goal is actually monetary gain and not, as she says, inspiring people. It just seems that she is the victim of this mentality of like, anyone can get lucky and become an influencer, and anyone can get there, earn millions, and kind of sort of do nothing. For me, it's a bit of an unrealistic depiction of influencing that we have, because you can put in all the work, you can put in so much effort, and then still get nothing, because there is also a lot of a luck factor involved in this. So yeah, I do not like this girl's attitude. I think someone had to give her a wake-up call, and maybe, just maybe, I doubt she will change, but maybe this instance will jiggle something in her mind and make her think a little bit. So yeah, I don't think the person is an asshole. The girl needs to grow the fuck up and find a job. That's my verdict. And actually, Reddit also gave him a verdict of not an asshole, and I agree. Next one is, am I the asshole for embarrassing my influencer friend by intentionally letting her post a meme that made her look stupid? I love the title. It says so much. It's so concise. Good job. I feel kind of bad, but I have a friend who thinks of herself as a highly popular mom influencer. She's in her 40s, and she has a habit of taking other people's posts, memes, etc., and reposting them as her own. I'm gonna say right off the bat, I fucking despise people who steal content. I do not support it in any shape or form. I think it's unethical, disrespectful to fellow content creators. You should not fucking do that. You can do something similar if you got inspired by other people's content, but make it your own. You always need to make it your own. To just go and steal things that you didn't make is lazy and pathetic. Let's continue. She even steals personal, heartfelt words from other bloggers and Instagrammers about their struggles with body image, depression, etc., and slightly changes them to repost as her own. Oh, I hate this. I hate this so much. She's grown a decent following from this and gets sponsored by brands for keeping it real. Oh, okay. Honestly, I'll admit part of me is likely jealous, so I'll own that, but mostly I just think it's gross that she's lying and making up a whole personality that has people thinking she's something she's not. Anyway, there is this challenge going around on social media called the Hidden Cat Challenge, and I thought it would be funny to send her a photo of Monica's apartment from France and say, bet you can't find the cat in this photo. I figured she'd recognize it and laugh, but within a few minutes she had posted it on all of her social media, telling people it was her latest Airbnb and making up an elaborate backstory about a random cat that lived there and challenging people to find it. I messaged her asking why she would lie, and she just said that she needed content and no one would ever know. So I just kept my mouth shut and sat back to see what would happen. Obviously, people immediately began calling her out and she tried to defend herself, but it wasn't long before she took it down and had to turn off comments on all her social accounts. She's now telling me I'm an asshole for letting her post it, and I may have coached her sponsors and taken food out of their kid's mouth. Am I the asshole? Edit. Thank you to those who sent awards. Very surprised and encouraged. Also dying that there is an evil cackle award. Does that make me an asshole? Edit 2. Just to clarify, reply. I had no idea she was going to post it. The whole point was that the photo didn't even have a cat in it. It was a joke. She posted it with a whole fake story and tried to make people find the non-existent cat in the photo, which added hugely to her embarrassment. After she got mad, I even tried to help by suggesting she simply tell people she accidentally posted the wrong photo, or even say it was a joke, but she locked down her profiles, which obviously made her look bad. None of her friends blame me, but she's seriously upset and is refusing to speak to me. I never intended to make her look bad, but since she brushed me off when I first called her out, I figured I'd just let it play out. I guess that is why she thinks I'm the asshole. Nah, I agree with the verdict on this one, not the asshole at all. The girl walked in on this one all by herself. If you are stealing content, you are bound to fuck up one day. And this case is just beautiful karmic justice. The author cannot be an asshole in any way because she didn't intend to embarrass her. And then she even messaged her afterwards and she asked why she would lie. And when she got the predictable answer that no one would ever know, it's fine, she decided to sit back. And maybe that is petty, maybe that is vengeful, I don't even know, but I would have done the same thing because it's a perfect opportunity to teach this person a lesson. I mean, I would be more upset about this if, the person was not stealing the content, but here it says that she even steals personal struggles from other people about like body image, depression. And this is serious stuff. One thing is to steal a meme. That's not great, but to steal somebody's personal confessions and personal thoughts about struggles with depression, for example, or any other issue is so callous that, I mean, she deserved what she got in the end. You gotta be fucking dumb to see the picture and without giving it a second thought to repost it. You gotta filter the content you are bringing out there, and the girl did nothing, well, the woman did nothing to vet the picture, let's say, because the author clearly states that within a few minutes she had posted it on all of her social media. So that was a speedy response. She just opened the picture, didn't fucking bother to look for a cat, and just posted it. Well, whose problem is it? I think the author should just stop talking to this woman and move on with her life, because this person is redonkulous, and I hope they learn their lesson about stealing other people's shit. And I also love how the author admitted that she's probably a little jealous. She gets extra respect points from me for that, because it takes a lot of strength and self-awareness to admit that you are jealous and to factor that into your actions. I actually love that she did that. Let's move on to another story. Am I the asshole for acting crazy and spouting conspiracy theories to get my sister to stop including me in her videos? My 19 male sister, 21 female, is a social media chef on TikTok and YouTube. I still live with my parents while going to college, while sis lives with some friends about 10-minute drive away. Even though she does not live here, she comes over 2-3 times a week to film for hours in my parents' kitchen. She will make lunch and dinner for my parents and me, but she insists that she includes us in her videos. I'm not comfortable with this for a variety of reasons. One of these being her fans have made comments about me that I find highly inappropriate and I don't like. I wonder if the comments are thirsting after the brother, because it sort of sounds like that, but let's not make any assumptions. I've asked my sister multiple times to please edit me out of her videos or not film me at all. She's told me multiple times she would stop, but still includes me in her videos and goes out of her way to still try and film me. My parents have also told her to stop, but they don't see any harm in what she's doing, so they have taken a passive role in this. A few months ago, a graphic designer friend of mine offered to make me some not safe for YouTube shirt designs for me to order from her, and I did. It gave me the idea to start acting a bit unhinged and inappropriate for the platform she's trying to make. Nothing of this is inappropriate, mind you. I'm not trying to offend. Most of what I'm doing is conspiracy theory shit posting. My parents even find it entertaining, and my father has joined in as well, as he also is a bit tired of being filmed. They're ganging up on her. Apparently, earlier this week, I got my sister's account suspended. One of the shirts I got made has a picture of Ted Kaczynski with the word hero under it, and when she was streaming Monday, she turned the camera on me to ask me a question. I told her to stop, and she continued. While wearing the shirt, I said, "Pay attention, people. COVID was created to hide the truth of 9/11. My sister got mad and shooed me away, despite coming to me and trying to film me, and just continued to be annoying in the kitchen." I love how he phrases that, just continued to be annoying in the kitchen. Last night, she called my parents up mad because her streaming account got suspended because of me. She also got multiple videos of me wearing that same shirt flagged, putting her YouTube account in jeopardy and preventing her from uploading to it for 14 days. My parents just told her, "We told you so," but I got into an argument with her on the phone. I fully believe she's in the wrong for filming me, but I learned that this might completely destroy what she's been building for 2 years now. Despite the filming me issue, I actually am now wondering if ruining her chance at this being her career makes me a giant asshole. Well, not the asshole, I wouldn't say so, because there were multiple warnings for the sister. He did try to solve it as a normal, calm person, but she still would continue doing the things that he found inappropriate and insensitive. So for him to take more radical measures is fine. I mean, the shirt thing coupled with the comment is impressive. He does say nothing of this is inappropriate, but I actually don't know if that shirt with this comment combined aren't inappropriate, so I'm not gonna speak about that. It sounds pretty fucked up, but at the same time, the sister should be aware of what she's putting out. She should check if there's anything that violates the guidelines, because after all, she is the content maker and it's her responsibility to see if there's anything that might get you suspended or banned or flagged. I don't think the brother should sweat it that much that he potentially ruined the career for her because the streaming account got suspended. I don't know about that, how things work there, but suspended is not deleted, so I assume at some point she can get it back. And on YouTube, a couple of her videos got flagged and she cannot upload for 14 days. I mean, that sounds bad, but not permanent, because on YouTube, it's like when you get 3 strikes, then you're out. It doesn't sound like her account got deleted. So she's gonna be able to come back from that. It's just her brother was trying to get out of this shit, and I support him. Like, good job. Not a pleasant situation for the sister, but again, some people need to learn boundaries, and for some people, it's not enough to talk to them like an adult with an adult, because some of the people are so immature and so self-centered that they do not have the capacity to understand other people's worries and reservations, because it's clear that the brother is not comfortable with the comments, and it seems like she was just brushing it off because maybe to her it doesn't seem that serious. She's like, stop being a little child, let's just make some content. Should have stopped when she was asked to stop. I firmly believe that it is the right of every person to agree or disagree to being posted online, because our privacy is basically our own and people should not disrespect that. Everyone has different levels of tolerance to what is being posted online. I've known some people who don't post anything online about their lives. They have just like empty Instagram accounts that they use to follow the people that they know, but they are not comfortable sharing anything, and I completely understand. And I would never in a million years post anything that those people were in on my social media without asking them. And I think that's how it should be. It's the same as I never ever allow myself to post anything in my videos where my husband appears or talks without asking him first, because if the person is uncomfortable, you should definitely not use that footage or pictures, whatever. Because after all, what do you find more valuable? Your relationship with the person, or that piece of content that will maybe earn you some money? This next one also deals with a similar problem, but it's a bit more nuanced because people here are strangers. Am I the asshole for asking a stranger to delete a viral TikTok of me? I, 21 female, struggle with anorexia and have been trying to recover for 6 months. One of my biggest fears is eating in public. This has a lot to do with my anorexia, but I'm also insecure about the way my face looks when I eat. I also have pretty bad anxiety and often have panic attacks. My boyfriend, 24 male, is incredibly supportive. We've been together for 2 years and he does everything he can do to help me and make me feel comfortable. Last week I was having a great week. I'd been feeling good about myself and I felt confident enough to go out for lunch with my boyfriend. We decided to go to one of those sushi places with the conveyor belts. We had a great time and I was proud of myself. A few days later, I saw a TikTok where somebody puts their phone on the conveyor belt and it records people whilst they're eating. I was in the video. It was only for a few seconds, but I was distraught as I hate people seeing me eat and I had no idea it was being recorded. I started to have a panic attack. My boyfriend immediately messaged the girl who posted the video asking her if she could delete it and she refuses. The next day, after I had calmed down, I decided to message her myself and explain why I wanted it deleted, and she refused again and said it had tons of views and it's her video, therefore she can post it if she likes. The girl is 22, so more than old enough to understand my concerns. She argued that people were complimenting me in the comments and I should be grateful. I had not checked the comments because at the moment I'm terrified of somebody saying something that may trigger me. This made me quite angry, as just because I'm being complimented doesn't mean that I'd like a video of me up for the world to see. At this point, I had lost my patience and started being a bit rude. I called her a malicious bitch who needed to record other people without their consent to get views. Well, you're not wrong. I then reported her video. My boyfriend reported her video, and so did many of my friends who I had explained the situation to. Her video got taken down and her account got banned. She found my boyfriend on Instagram and blamed us for getting banned. She was angry because she desperately needs money for rent and necessities and says we have just fucked up the creator fund for her. I feel bad for her, but I don't think this gives her the right to record people without their consent. My boyfriend does not feel bad for her at all. He says she was an absolute bitch and deserves a ban. I am on his side. I've been in a horrible state of anxiety since this and I've barely been able to eat. I keep thinking about how many people saw the video. I feel like I've been set back in my recovery. I feel guilty that I've ruined the source of income for the girl, and I feel like towards the end of our discussion, I was speaking to her like shit. Girl, you are not the asshole. The bitch had it coming. Again, there was a discussion. You stated your reasons for wanting to take the video down, and those are very, very valid reasons because you're dealing with a mental health issue on top of the fact that this video was recorded without your consent and posted without your consent. Yeah, not the asshole at all, and I understand why you would be rude to her because she was clearly not getting the point. Again, also agree that she's 22, should know better at this point. I would be more skeptical if she was like 17, 16. People still are sort of dumb at that age, but when you're 22, you're still a bit dumb, but not as dumb as to not understand the potential repercussions that this can have on the person that struggles with such a serious mental illness. I actually forgot that this story was about anorexia and the struggle with that. And I just want to say that I struggled with that and I can relate a lot because I also still have a very big problem with eating in public. I could be starving and I would still pass on the food because someone was around and I had no other options. For example, like if I was going somewhere by train and it took me 18 hours on that train, right? I would not eat that entire time and I would not eat all the other times where I was in the apartment with someone, etc., etc., because this is a very, very difficult thing to deal with. It's one of those aspects of anorexia that is just so painful and hard, and then to be in recovery is hard enough without some bitch posting a video of you eating, which is literally the biggest fucking trigger ever, anxiety-inducing nightmare for everybody to see, I cannot even imagine my reaction at that point. And I feel very bad for her that she feels that she went back in her recovery. This is such a long and hard process that every time you have a setback, it can feel that you will never be able to dig yourself out of this hole. And admittedly, anorexia will in some ways stay with you forever. I am still experiencing a lot of the same mental issues connected to that so many years later. So I just hope that this girl can find it in herself to continue the recovery. Forget about the guilt. Fuck that creator. She was wrong on so many levels as a content maker, but also as a human, just generally, because I think humans are supposed to have compassion, and it's very strange to me that after the girl explained why she wants the video taken down, the other one still insisted on keeping it up, because views are more important than preserving someone's mental health. I don't get it. I sorta kinda am mad at that other girl. The author is not the asshole. I wish her all the best. I wish her a speedy recovery. Let's move on. Am I the asshole for posting an unedited picture of my influencer sister when she didn't Facetune me as well? To preface, my 26 female sister, 22 female, is an Instagram influencer. I won't give too many specifics, but while she's relatively a nobody here, she has a couple 100,000 Instagram followers. Girl, you shouldn't have put that in quotations. She put Instagram influencer in quotations, and then she goes, she got a couple 100,000 Instagram followers. She is an Instagram influencer, okay? I smell some jealousy happening. We had a small get together for Canada Day, and she took a picture of me and her posing in front of some decorations. Here is where things took a turn. My sister facetuned herself but left me unedited. Now, I don't want to say I'm ugly or she's ugly. However, we are nowhere near the average Instagram influencer level of beauty, and I'm relatively unphotogenic. I do not take any images without a filter, just for my own self-esteem. She insisted that I pose with her since we had somewhat matching outfits. I said okay, and she took a ton of pictures. Finally, she got one she was happy with, but to be honest, I looked pretty awful. I told her I didn't want her to post it anywhere unless she cropped me out, or at least edited me a bit so I didn't look so dreadful next to her. She said okay, and I didn't realize she posted it until later that evening. I got a weird DM calling me the ugly sister. People on the internet so kind, so understanding, along with some other DMs generally making fun of my appearance compared to my sister's. I went to her page and so she tagged me in the image and facetuned herself but left me unedited. She made herself look flawless and left me looking terrible off to the side, which was even worse now with her there in comparison. I couldn't believe it. I called her and asked her how she could do that to me and to take it down because she did not have my permission to post it, but she told me it had too many likes in this amount of time to remove it. What a bitch! Dudes, that's straight up vicious. Livid, I found a picture of us that I took before we decided to use her phone, where admittedly we both looked terrible. I posted it and tagged her, leaving it unedited. I then woke up to a ton of messages from not only my sister but my mother condemning me for my actions and putting my sister's career on the line. I mean, to put it in quotation marks, is a bit spiteful, not classy. The post only got a handful of likes and only a few comments as well. She deleted the post of us two together and told me to do the same, which I obliged, but now her and my mother are still angry and refusing to talk to me because I risked her career in a petty fit of jealousy. I have to ask, am I the asshole? Nah, that was warranted. The author states that she struggles with self-esteem because she doesn't take any pictures without the filter, and I get it. What you see on the camera can be pretty brutal to your mental health and self-image. That's why I hate being photographed. I look atrocious and it just kills my self-esteem every time I see a picture of me. She did again ask to take the picture down, which the sister refused. I don't see any other explanation to this situation than the sister knew what she was doing. She wanted a picture of her being super pretty and her sister being uglier to look better next to her. So that is intent, okay? That is the intent to the crime. And it is malicious. And I do not like that. So for her to then refuse, okay, then the sister went ahead and basically did the same thing as you. So it's very funny how she got mad and the mother got mad. Also, interesting dynamics in the family. But that was completely logical, I think. I mean, great petty revenge. It is sort of petty, I think, but very earned. She has a couple 100,000 followers, and after she tagged her sister in that ugly picture, the sister started receiving terrible messages. Like, she started getting bullied by all these strangers for being ugly. And don't you think it's fucked up? I do. It's strange how the sister does not realize that and doesn't care, as long as she's the pretty one, right? But yeah, not the asshole. Let's move on. Am I the asshole for making a joke on my brother's boyfriend's TikTok account? I, 17 male, am living only with my older brother, 23 male, due to family reasons, which are irrelevant to this post. For a couple of months, he's been bringing his boyfriend around the same age, I guess, to our home, and he's pretty weird. He'll dress up in weird costumes or wear ridiculous makeup, and once even jump scared me with a Michael Myers costume. I also saw him bring his meds at our home, which I later checked to see that they were for schizophrenia, so I chalked it up as the cause for weird behavior. Either way, last night I accidentally stumbled upon his TikTok account and I saw him having tons of videos of him in different costumes. There wasn't even a specific theme. He had videos of him wearing costumes of drag, movies, serial killers, firefighters, policemen. I decided to tease him a bit, and under his last video I posted, "Were the voices in your head the ones that put you up to this?" I chuckled at my joke. You Oh my god. I chuckled at my joke and I thought he'd also find it funny. As I said above, he's also a bit of a prankster. However, the next morning I see that I'm blocked from his account, and then I receive a furious call from my brother asking me if I was the one who sent that disgusting comment on his boyfriend's account. I admitted it as I knew I wouldn't be able to trick him, and then he started yelling that I'm an ableist moron, and because of me, his boyfriend is now crying, locked up in his room, and refusing to come out. Even if he perceived my comment as an attack against him, which definitely wasn't my intention, I still believe my brother's boyfriend's hugely overreacting over this whole situation, because as I said, he scared me with a Michael Myers costume, and while I was mad at him and my bro because he was also involved in the prank, I didn't lock up in my room and started crying over it. Either way, my brother is now at his boyfriend's place to comfort him and isn't responding to any of my calls, and just gave me a quick text saying he'll come back home tomorrow, and is also now ignoring my following text. Am I the asshole? Yes, a million times yes, you are a giant asshole. I am only willing to give you a little bit of a benefit of a doubt because you're 17, but you need to grow up. I feel like this whole issue rose up from ignorance. I think this perfectly demonstrates how there is a big lack of mental health awareness, because so many people still think that schizophrenia is like a plague or something. It's like they treat schizophrenics like lepers because they automatically assume that they are dangerous and they're crazy out of their mind, that they will do something absolutely insane and blah blah blah, which is not true. People with schizophrenia, if they are receiving proper treatment, are able to lead a relatively normal life. It is wild to me how so many people still have this misconception about them being absolutely unhinged. He has medication. What a little fucking bitch to be like, well, probably his schizophrenia makes him behave so weirdly and dress up in costumes. Dude, 2023rd year of our Lord on this planet, and you still y'all fucking think that only crazy men can dress up in drag costumes? What is wrong with you? Jesus Christ. The guy needs some education for this little brother to go and post on his social media this fucking cruel comment about the voices in your head. It's insane to me. Like, that is insane to me. Okay, schizophrenia is absolutely fine. It's a disease that is manageable. What this author did is insane. It's not a funny joke. And then he goes on to compare it to the prank. He's like, well, they did scare me with the costume, but I didn't run away and start fucking crying. You got jump scared. The other guy has a mental illness that is incurable. It is just manageable. And you just went and shamed him both for his mental illness and for his choices of costume and social media content. You managed to fucking double stab him, not even in the back, like right in the chest, I feel like. And then you are also going about and being like, well, am I the asshole? Because, well, I didn't cry because it's different. And I'm very, very sorry for the boyfriend because we don't know how hard he struggles with his mental health, but I can imagine that it is not an easy issue to deal with because any sort of mental illness is a burden. The life is hard enough, okay, for normal people, but then when you have a mental illness, it's like you've been born at the higher level of difficulty in this game. It feels like you've been a little bit fucked over by the universe. So yeah, you're an asshole. I don't want to waste any more words on you. I hope you will grow up and understand how fucked up you were being. Best of luck to the boyfriend. Let's move on. Am I the asshole for telling my sister-in-law to grow up and stop copying everything from TikTok? I, 42 female, have a sister-in-law, 35 female. She's my husband's sister. She's so easily influenced, it's embarrassing. Now, because of TikTok, she has a 5-step skincare routine. God only knows how much money she threw away on snake oil products. She spends hours following makeup routines she sees on there. She now wakes up at 5 a.m. to do a workout plan from an account she follows. She's constantly cooking recipes from TikTok, going to restaurants she found on there. Everything is from TikTok. I don't think she has ever had an original thought in her life. She's 35, for God's sake. It's an app for teenagers. Now with Easter coming up, she's asking to bring some butterboard she saw on TikTok. It honestly sounded ridiculous. I finally decided to say something to her. I explained to her how it's embarrassing, how she still is trying to act like a teenager. No amount of skincare and 5 a.m. workouts will stop her from aging. She's 35. She's going to have wrinkles. We all went through it. Now it's her turn. She's just wasting money and it's time to grow up and accept how old she is. She's no longer a teenager and that's okay. We all age. I explained to her that her life is flying by. She's married with no children. She is 35. I fear she's going to wake up in a few years and regret not having children and wasting so much of her time worried about what she looks like. She told me forget it, she won't even come to Easter. She told me just because I gave up on myself doesn't mean she needed to. Oh, that fucking sister. You go, girl. You go, girl. Which was incredibly rude and unnecessary. Sorry, I have 2 kids to take care of. I don't have time to worry about wrinkles or if my outfit is perfect. She then hung up. Now my in-laws are pissed and they have decided to do Easter at their house since sister-in-law now feels too uncomfortable coming to our house. And of course, she will be making her ridiculous butterboard. My husband agrees that she needs to grow up, but thinks I should have kept my mouth shut and should apologize so we can have a nice Easter. But I'm looking out for her. She's no longer a teenager and it's time to accept that. This is ridiculous. I don't even know where to start commenting, but honestly, the problem is not TikTok. The problem is the author's insecurity in herself. It's obvious that it enrages her so much that her sister experiences new things, uses TikTok to find and stuff that inspires her, that she takes care of herself and doesn't have children. That seems to be a case of spite and jealousy and resentment, because it seems that the author is just miserable in her own life, and instead of turning in and finding the causes, acknowledging the problems, and finding her insecurities that make her such a sour bitch, she just turns on her sister that is doing much better than she is. This argument of, I'm just looking out for her, putting her down, is not looking out for her. She does nothing wrong. There are so many little phrases that I want to take out of this post and pick apart that I'm afraid I don't even have enough time in this day to do that, but let's just go over a few of them. She's 35. She's going to have wrinkles. We all went through it. Now it's her turn. My sister should also have wrinkles because I have them. Everyone should suffer and have children because I have them. Why I went through this and you have the fucking audacity not to suffer that way? It's beyond me. This is the tone that I see in here. And similarly to wrinkles, there is the children thing. Wasting so much of her time worried about what she looks like. She will regret not having children. Are you in her head? She's 35, for fuck's sake. I would think she already knows if she wants children or not. I'm 27. I've known if I want children or not since I was 14. And I do think that it's very unlikely I will change my mind. So I would suppose that by the age of 35, people know, because you are already a fully formed, established adult, and you can make this decision being very grounded in your life and your ways. So it's not your fucking place to tell if she's gonna regret it or not. I think you should maybe take her as an example and be more like your sister, because then you might actually start enjoying your life. The way that she's mad that her sister has a 5-step skincare routine, that her sister does 5 a.m. workouts, is just so funny to me. You're just mad because you would probably also like to do that, but you've for some reason convinced yourself that you're above it, that you're too old for this, that it's not gonna help, that it's a waste of time and money. She might not start looking like she's 20 again, but she will definitely be healthier, and she will definitely preserve her skin better if she takes care of it well. I think we all should jump on that train. Workouts, it's undoubtedly a good thing, regardless of where you picked it up. Whatever helps you exercise, good for you. Skincare, I think we all should pay attention to it since a very, very young age. My grandmother used to tell me when I was young that you should start taking care of your skin before you're 20, because after it's gonna be too late. This is one of the best fucking pieces of advice I've ever received in my life. It is so important not just to look pretty, it's just for your health. You literally don't need a 5-step skincare routine to make your skin better. It just depends, first of all, on you, on your specifics, on the amounts of time you have, and on the amounts of money you have. My skincare routine literally takes me 3 minutes every day and 40 on weekends. But since I've started doing that, I look so much better and so much happier. So get on that. You don't need to spend billions of money on that. Just buy yourself a good fucking moisturizer and a good sunscreen, and you're set. You're literally set. You don't need to do anything else. You don't need to do the Korean 20-step skincare routine to take care of yourself. Stop being jealous of of your sister and projecting your insecurities on her, and start working on yourself. And also, jumping from this to my next point, I just want to say that, like, to everyone who wants to pick up some habits or some self-care techniques, it's never too late. It's never shameful, regardless of how old you are. You can be 65 and start doing regular skincare and start doing 5 a.m. yoga. It's absolutely fine. Don't think about what other people will think. I can only say that the sister in this story is fucking great. She doesn't give a shit. And this whole conflict over the butterboard, the author didn't even try it yet. And then she got mad about it. I can't handle this. And also the last thing I will say is that I don't think she has ever had an original thought in her life. And you did, I assume. What, do you have like 5 PhDs? Where do you get all your opinions? Why it's such a big problem if she gets all of her information from TikTok, if most of the people on the planet got their information from somewhere? Before TikTok, it was YouTube, it was Google, and well, now it's your poison of choice, but generally, we all got our information from somewhere. I mean, just by the fact that you don't use TikTok doesn't mean you have original thoughts in your life, because before that, you probably were taking recommendations from the TV, from other social media platforms, or your friends. It doesn't make your thoughts any more original than what your sister got from TikTok. The upsetting truth. The author is an asshole who has a lot of issues to work through, so I kind of feel sorry for her, but also I'm not sure if she even has the ability to reflect on it. So 50-50. I'm like sympathetic but reluctant to be so. This was the last story I had for you today. I hope you were a little entertained. If you're still here, thank you. I really appreciate it, because I love making these videos, and I am hoping they will find their own people who will also love them, but everything in its own time. Drop the like, it will help immensely. I will see you next week with another video. Bye.